What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Marlo, and I noticed I kind of gotta switch up, my intro and things like that. I gotta make sure I tell y'all like and subscribe and things like that. So I'm gonna be practicing. But today we got a video about who should lead the Democrats. So get into the video.
Americans on both sides of the aisle are scared about the direction the country's heading in right now. And some voters are asking Democratic officials who can lead them out of this mess. Take a look.
They don't care if people die. They don't care if people suffer. We want you to be straight with us. How do we go to the next level to fight this?
Call, write letters, show up at places when you can. Show up in front of their office. Tell them how pissed off you are and how bad this is for our country and how there are people inside the house that you are trying to burn down.
I got asked a question, who's in charge? Who's the leader of the Democratic Party, Governor? And I said, the people are. There is not going to be a charismatic leader ride in and do this. It is going to be people coming out on a beautiful Friday afternoon, demanding change and holding people accountable.
Yeah, well, And voters also said they're looking for leadership, and so I guess the question is, which Democrat do you see stepping up to lead the party? I mean, I don't know if you can wait for somebody to step up and lead the party. I think he's not wrong when he says the party is us. And what are we prepared to do? I say you got to, check on your schools. Depending on where you live, you got to find out what's going on with your Medicare, Medicaid, who the doctors are and what they're going to do to help you. Because if we wait for somebody to come up and lead us, a lot more people are going to fall, I think, by the wayside.
Except that you need somebody to sort of lead the way, somebody to tell them why they're out there. Don't look at me, Whoopi. No, I think that you do need a leader in many ways. I was looking at the stats here, and, not one, AOC, Kamala, Bernie, Hakeem, Barack, Newsom, none of them have more than 9% of the approval of the party as a leader. And you need somebody who's going to tell them, look, the reason we have to have, this is something that bothers me in this country with people. They don't understand certain things, like they were against giving money to Ukraine, for example. And one of the arguments from that is that, well, why don't you use the money here instead of giving it to these Ukrainian people? Well, when we give the money to you here, you call it socialism and turn on the Democrats. So somebody needs to get out there and explain these things to people.
That's also not true. You're correct, but the money that goes to Ukraine is actually spent in the U.S. Building weapons,
they don't say
contributing to our GDP.
I think Democratic voters say 2-1. They want party leaders to fight rather than compromise, even at the risk of not getting things done. And I think that's what we're seeing. Yes, you want people to be able to exercise their First Amendment rights to protest and to get into the streets, get out there and say, this is what we want. But we know that this administration is not playing by the rules. They're certainly not playing by the Constitution. And people are now being arrested for exercising their constitutional rights. So you do need a leader, but you need a leader with fight. I've said it over and over again. This is not about being a resistance party. That's very passive. This is about being an opposition party, which is an action. That's very, very active. And when you look at leaders that it seems that people are supporting, you're looking at the Jasmine Crockett, who doesn't care, who's going to fight for you. You're looking at the Al Green with his cane, who's saying, my constituents need Medicaid. You're looking at that. You're looking at, I would say, an AOC. Her name keeps on coming up because she's out there every single day saying, this is what we need to do. So what I want to see is I want to see somebody meet energy with energy. I want to see a Democratic leader that doesn't capitulate, that doesn't make deals with the other side when the other side is interested in making deals. It's their way or the highway. Let's see a leader that's willing to fight.
So I break a little bit with Sunny on that. And
Yeah, let's see a leader that's going to come in and put his foot down.
I think this is the infighting you're seeing on the left. I'm an independent, but I'm a left-leaning independent. So when I look at this fight, there's about 65%, like Sunny, who want the resistance, the fight. at the expense of getting nothing done. That just does not track in my mind. 32%.
Why is it at the expense of getting nothing
No,
done?
they're saying they would fight even at the expense of seeing nothing done. And to me,
Because
that's
Republicans aren't good. They're going to do what they want
But
to
what
do.
my point here is that they're like James Carville has said before, there's a resistance within the party that also believes strategically letting them hang themselves.
Yeah.
Don't get out of the way, don't be passive, but they are hanging themselves. You've got court cases that are coming down the road of all of these 24 cases. All this stuff is happening. I know people are hurting, and I can relate, as Alyssa Slotkin said here, to the rage. We all share the anger in the reaction, but our solutions come at different angles. I am looking for everyone in D.C. to stop looking at it as a basketball game where we win, we lose, we fight, and they get stuff done.
Yeah.
Right now, the censures and the ceremonial, like, you know, we have a paddle and we have a pink shirt and they need a leader, because without a leader, they don't coalesce around the same cause. The thing Republicans did well, and they won this election because of it, is they had two clear messages. They repeated it over and over: immigration and economics, over and over again. Democrats don't have clear messaging because they stand for every damn thing.
Well, I don't know about
Go
that.
ahead.
I mean, I'm not happy with either party. I'm still a registered Republican. I'm voting for a local Republican in an election today. But I think that, not to put too fine of a note on it, Democrats are in a bit of an existential crisis. Right now, you have people leaving blue states to red states 3-1. The two moderate Dems that were in the Senate, Manchin and Tester, one lost, one retired. That means that the Senate control is out of reach for Democrats, likely for probably about a decade, because you're not likely to win in those states that are increasingly more right-wing. And I think it's because the party is moving away from moderation. I understand, like, the base, you have
Which
to
party?
cater to them. Well, the Republicans have. I'm acknowledging
Republicans
that.
are radical.
Nobody's a Republican that's more critical of Republicans than me. But Democrats, I think, need to wake up to the fact that they're beholden to their progressive base, which is making them lose national elections. And then if you look at the fact working class voters and young voters are moving away from Democrats, they need a message that's more than anti-Trump. It needs to be,
right.
here is what we are for, here's how we're investing in communities, but
Right.
simply being a resistance
Do you
party is
meet,
not winning.
but do you meet a radical
Here's
message with
what
a
we're gonna
moderate
do.
one?
I definitely agree
He's
when she
handed the
said
keys to
that
Elon.
we need a different argument other than anti-Trump. That's all they got is anti-Trump. No Trump, no Trump, no Trump. Well, what are y'all gonna get in the office and do? And that's the video. Like I always say, God bless.